Republican Senator from the great state of Kansas, a member of the Senate Budget and Finance Committees, Roger Marshall joins me. Nice to see you, sir.
Greta, great to be with you.
Okay, so what's going on in your side of the hill?
Well, I think we're on day number 2 of the Schumer shutdown. This is a political shutdown driven by AOC, the Squad, and the liberal media.
Why do you say it's driven by her? She's over in the House. Is it because she's sort of breathing down his back and he's worried about that?
Yeah, all the above. So certainly he's worried about a primary, but I think the bigger picture, he's afraid that she's about to hijack the entire party. The liberal media has empowered her, the Squad, that on these talking points, and they're trying to pull their whole party hard to the left. And the only thing Chuck Schumer had left to do was to respond to that and shut the government down. So they've taken the hostage, as Congressman Scalise said, they've taken the hostage, these health care credits, these COVID-era subsidies, and now they're wanting him to shoot the hostage.
So you're saying that Senator Schumer's, what he's doing is not because this is his passion, his policy, and his commitment, but rather he has fear of his own political life.
You got it. And all you have to do is just go back to the decades of history of him saying how we should never shut the government down. That's very contrary to what he believes. Democrats wake up in the morning thinking about spending more money. We shut government down. It's very antithetical to what they want to be doing.
All right. Tell me about AOC and what's the discussion in the Senate about her? She's across the hill. I call her AOC, Congresswoman AOC. But what is her influence in the Senate?
Yeah, so I think it's none. Her name never comes up. No one ever says, well, what does AOC think about this? You know, you'll have thought leaders in different areas. But I think when we saw Nancy Pelosi bristle yesterday, I'm not sure if you saw how she reacted when a reporter asked her about her AOC's comments that the Senate should come over to her and negotiate this rather than with Hakeem or with Schumer. I think that all caught her eye like, oh my gosh, this truly is political. It's about Chuck Schumer's political life. It's about the cannibalization of the Democrat Party by AOC and again that left leading liberal media.
But what business is it really of the House at this point? The House did its job, whether you like it or not. They passed a clean CR, which is just a postponement until November 21st. They passed it. It's now in your lap.
It's a great point, and that's why it's amazing to see Chuck Schumer cave to her. Look, what they're doing is they've taken this hostage of these COVID-era subsidies, and happy to dive into that. That's the hostage he's using as an excuse, but that is wrought with fraud. That this program of theirs, these COVID subsidies, grew from $50 billion a year to $150 billion a year, and we think a third of that is fraud, waste, and abuse. Not to mention, one more point here: the premiums are going up 20% this year. And so and the federal government is toting 90% of the bill right now. We should be talking about how to get those premiums down, and the Republicans have a plan.
Which is my question. You're the perfect person. You're a doctor. Yeah. You practiced medicine. What is wrong with our healthcare system? I mean, the Obamacare was an attempt, but that has not been a roaring success. Tell me what we should do.
Right. So actually, healthcare costs up 400% over the last couple of decades. So what the Obamacare did is it created overregulation that led to consolidation of industries. So now every state has 2 or 3 insurance companies. They have 2 or 3 hospital systems in each community. We have pharmacy benefit managers, 3 of them controlling 90% of the drugs. So this overregulation has killed competition. And because of the lack of that, along with it, it's killed innovation. There's no transparency. Our signature bill this year is a price tags bill to force hospitals, surgery centers, and imaging centers to show patients the price of things before they get them done. You'll see a difference of 4x between one facility and another.
But a lot of things, really aren't by choice, a lot of medical things. I mean, you got high blood pressure, you want to be able to afford your medicine. I realize that President Trump is working on that with the recent thing with the executive order. But people, they do have medical problems, and a lot of the medical problems, they don't have a lot of choice because they need to get it taken care of.
Right. So the other problem we have, part of my Pillars of Maha, is affordable access to primary care. If you think about 7 chronic diseases, they drive 90% of the spend on health care. Think about heart disease, hypertension, obesity, diabetes, Alzheimer's.
By the way, if we gave free Zepbound and those other drugs to bring people's weight down, because a lot of people don't want to be overweight, which leads to diabetes and heart problems. I mean, even that might be a good idea. Let people, instead of charging $1,000 a month.
I'm not going to go there
Okay,
for
all right.
free drugs for everybody.
I'm not a doctor. I just imitate one on TV.
I'd rather address the true root of the problem, that we have a nutrition problem in this country, we have a lifestyle problem in this country, that it's a combination of poor nutrition, exposure to toxins, which is driving this healthcare dilemma.
I agree with you on that, but the problem is that we're not going to change eating habits overnight. It's going to take a long time. I mean, all the nutrition problems, because a lot of people don't have a lot of money that they need to go to get fast food instead of getting it someplace else. They just do. We have the immediate problem with healthcare, though, right now. People need healthcare right now, even if they dream of being healthy 10 years from now.
Okay, so let's go back to our fixes for healthcare prices. The cost of healthcare. Anything that makes healthcare more transparent, that promotes innovation, that turns patients back into consumers. We need more competition, not less. We talked about our transparency bill. And then I think we should talk about healthcare savings accounts, expanding them, allowing patients to use those money to pay for direct primary care, where one doctor managing a group of patients for a set amount of money. We got other solutions out there as well, but those would be, I think, the signature bills. More transparency, more HSAs.
All right, I dragged you into another issue. I'm sorry, because I brought you here to talk about what's going on here. Is there any negotiation going on in the Senate right now between Republicans and Democrats about the shutdown in the Senate?
Yeah, the negotiation is going on in the Appropriations Committee.
Right now, today.
Yeah, I would suppose so. It's hard for me to say day to day, but I know that Senator Susan Collins and her Appropriations Committee is working their tails off. They've
either got to accept that continuing resolution or not.
But I think if they would give us the 2 months, Senator Collins can finish the job. She has 90% of the funding done. Chuck Schumer wants to go in a back closet, negotiate the deal with himself and President Trump. We want to do it openly. We want to do it through the Appropriations Committee. We want to bring it to the floor. That's where the negotiation should be happening on the spending bill.
Could that be accomplished by November 21st, which is what the continuing resolution, because all the negotiations could have probably been done before September 30th when we shut down. Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, frankly, people didn't do their homework before the 30th. So now we need a little, extra grace period.
So we've went at record speed. For decades, we've never went this fast. That 90% of the funding is done in Appropriations Committee. 3 of those bills are past the finish line on the floor. So yes, we could bring them to the floor, but the ones that are not brought to the floor because Chuck Schumer's being an obstructionist. He wants to slow down this America First agenda, and this is one more way he can do it. And of course, he has his marching orders. Do whatever you can to obstruct President Trump.
His marching orders from AOC?
You bet. AOC, the Squad, and don't forget the liberal left media.
Wow. Anyway, we'll be watching. Senator, thank you very much. Nice to see you, sir.
Thank you.